Hey guys, welcome to Moving on TV. Hope you're well. It's very cold today. Right. We're not going to have the tarot show tonight because Janie's tired and so am I. And so what I do want to do today, just very quickly, and then I'm going to go and have a nice relaxed evening with Peace and Ellie, the cats, and have some dinner, is someone has passed on this really powerful prayer. Now, everything that works for me, I pass on to you guys, as you know, because I want to help you, because I want to do my best to help as many people as possible. And this will also protect Moving on TV. Now, as you know, I'm not religious. And when I talk about Jesus or anything like that, it's purely as a spiritual teacher and master. And Nina respects that. So she sent me this prayer. Now, this prayer is to protect you from anything that is not love. All right. They can come with different names. And because you're light workers and you're ascending, you're likely to get them around you at times. And we did see them come onto Moving on TV saying disgusting things. So we blocked all of them. So thank you very much, Spirit, for protecting us. But this is also, if like me, you get a lot of pain and tension in your trapezius, the top of your back, with me it manifests here. If you're getting that, then and depression, it can lift depression really fast. Because, and if you crave a lot of sugar, apparently, it's because they're preying on you and you need more sugar. Okay, so I'm going to do this with you. So I want you to get very grounded. If you have a crystal, hold a crystal in your hands, breathe, and let all the tension come out of your body. Now, Nina gave this to me when I was in depression and when I had terrible, terrible pain in my shoulder and I couldn't do any work at all. She said it to me 3 times. We say it 3 times. And I swear to God, the depression lifted straight away. The depression lifted straight away. And the pain went out of my shoulder and out of my body very, very quickly. All right, so I'm going to play to you. Get yourself grounded. Feel the roots coming out of your feet into the ground. Really, really feel yourself balancing. And I hope this helps you as much as it helped me. The depression just disappeared straight away. Okay, so let's have a listen to it. We put it on the thingy. We'll put it on the speaker. And I'm not staying on here for too long because I'm tired and because I want to have an easy evening tonight with the cats, just relaxing. Because tomorrow night, hopefully, the ecstatic dancing is going to be done at the commune. And so tune in from 11 o'clock, and hopefully, there's going to be lots of us dancing, doing the mind, body, spirit relaxation, ecstatic dancing. Okay. And suffering. And it's also when you don't eat or drink enough water. All right. So don't forget to eat, have a good meal, something warm. And as I say, if you're a vegan, make sure you have lots of lentils and protein, things to keep you warm inside. Or broth, make vegetarian broth if you have to. Okay, so let's turn this on. You can hear it. So I can hear it. Yeah, you can hear it. Okay, so we'll try and connect to the lumbar. Right, it's connecting. Okay, so let's do this prayer together, guys. Let's do this prayer. And if you're not in the right vibration, then you won't be on here anyway, because it's not going to resonate with you. But if you do want a prayer that really helps depression more or less straight away, like it did with me, and you want to become more grounded and release all the tension in your body, then this could help. And as I say, I pass on everything. So let's listen.
Hi, Lauren. Yeah, that's the voice clip above of the clearing. That's for the archonic.
Where is she?
This is the clearing. This is the clearing for any archons and others, Nephilim and fallen angels, mantis and insectoids or looks. So, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Father, Mother God, Father, Mother God, Father, Mother God, please can you negotiate on my behalf with archons and others, Nephilim and fallen angels, mantis and insectoids and looks, that are in and around my auric field and ask them to leave, as they do not have my consent to be here. If it's in their highest good and for the highest good of all, please return them to their originating source, through the light, washed and cleansed. Love and thank you.
Love and thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Father, Mother God. Father, Mother God. Father, Mother God.
Please can you negotiate on my behalf
with
the archons and others, Nephilim and fallen angels, mantis and insectoids and looks, that are in and around my auric field and ask them to leave, as they do not have my
permission to be here.
If it's in the highest good and for the highest good of all, please return them to their originating source, through the light, washed and cleansed. Love and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Father, Mother God, Father, Mother God, Father, Mother God. Please can you negotiate on my behalf the archons and angels, Nephilim, fallen angels, mantis and insectoids and looks, that in and around my auric field, as they do not have my permission to be here. If it's in the highest good and for the highest good of all, please return them to the originating source, through the light, washed and cleansed. Love and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Lauren.
So that was the first one. This is the second one now.
Hi, Lauren. Yeah, that was the voice clip above of the clearing. That's for the archonic type horses using Master Jesus. There is the one for the demonic forces as well, which I haven't done. But it's just, it's the same terminology, but you're just replacing Jesus Christ with Archangel Michael. And so you say Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael. Please can you negotiate on my behalf with the reptilians, greys, and the Anunnaki that are in and around my auric field and ask them to leave, as they do not have my consent or permission to be here. If it's in their highest good and for the highest good of all, please return them to their originating source, through the light, washed and cleansed. Thank you.
Love and thank you. Thank you.
So you do that 3 times.
Right, we'll do it 3 times.
Hi, Lauren. Yeah, that was the voice clip above of the clearing. That's for the archonic type horses using Master Jesus. There is the one for the demonic forces as well, which I haven't done. But it's just, it's the same terminology, but you're just replacing Jesus Christ with Archangel Michael. And so you say Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael. Please can you negotiate on my behalf with the reptilians, greys, and the Anunnaki that are in and around my auric field and ask them to leave, as they do not have my consent or permission to be here. If it's in their highest good and for the highest good of all, please return them to their originating source, through the light, washed and cleansed. Love and thank you. Thank you. So you do that 3 times.
Right, one more time.
Please can you negotiate on my behalf with the reptilians, greys, and Anunnaki that are in and around my auric field, and ask them to leave, as they do not have my consent or permission to be here. If it's in their highest good, for the highest good of all, please return them to their originating source through the light, wash and cleanse. Love and thank you, thank you. So you do that 3 times. And
so there you go. So you do that 3 times, and I hope you feel better. I'm going to put this out as a program so you can listen to it, because what is given to me, I give to you. I pray that it helps you with depression and releasing anything around you that isn't love. Take care now. Lots of love, my darlings, and I will close the program with this beautiful song.
Every woman, every man, every race on every land, we must try to understand. Through his light and his love, we are one. Every creature from earth to sea, every leaf on every tree, we all share the same energy. Through his light and his love, we are one. We are one. I know that it's so hard for us to see. We are one. Illusion separating you and me. We are one. Caught in life's duality. We are light, we are love, we are one. Those who hear me, those who know, now it's time for us to show that his way is the way to go. Through his light and his love, we are one. We are one. I know that it's so hard for us to see. We are one. Illusion separating you and me. We are one. Caught in life's duality. We are light, we are love, we are one. That it's so hard for us to see. We are one. Illusion separating you and me. We are one. Caught in life's duality. We are light, we are love, we are one. We are one.
Je sais que c'est difficile pour nous de voir.
We are one.
L'illusion vous et moi, séparation.
We are one.
Dans la dualité de la vie.
We are light, we are love, we are one. We are one.
幻想を見逃さいの分かってる。
We are one.
人生の矛盾にとらわれた。
We are one.
あなたと私を。
We are light, we are love, we are one. We are one.
Sé que es muy difícil para nosotros ver.
We are one.
Ilusión tú y yo separando,
We are one.
atrapados en la dualidad de la vida.
We are light, we are love, we are one.
Who am I? Am I a figment of the night? A particle of light in your heart? Who am I? Am I a star that's burning bright, that holds a thought and shatters it apart? Who am I? Who am I? Am I the blue entrancing sky, a teardrop in your eyes you discard? Who am I? Am I a rose in full bloom, a dark entrancing room, a void? And when I fall, do I fall in love too hard, imagining I'm the queen of swords, repeating every card? When I fall, do I fall in love too fast, excited like a newborn child, forgetting the past? Who am I? Lost in the wind. Who am I? Am I the vacant sudden weight, the blatant fragrant taste mesmerized? Who am I? Am I a breath of golden air, a portal of despair, a starseed? And when I fall, do I fall in love too soon, repeated by your shining eyes, your dark intent?
and awesome people from around the globe. And today I am interviewing a Bollywood star. He works at Bollywood, and he's basically the Devdutt. He played Devdutt in Buddha. The Devdutt, the crazy, insane, twisted, sad Devdutt that we all know if you watched the 53 episodes on Netflix. And that's what I know him as. And I'm very, very happy to introduce Jagat Singh to Moving On TV.
Namaste.
Edited. Namaste. It's very good.
Namaste, and thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you so much. It's a matter of honor and proud for me to be a part of your show, and I'm thankful to all of you who have show and who have liked it, and you've made me come here and interact with people. Thank you so much.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here. As I said, myself and lots of other people, particularly people from the Buddhist community, we sat and watched the whole series of Buddha. And we saw you go through absolute hell from top to bottom. And, you know, when you actually died, we all cried. Are you in Mumbai at the moment? Are you in Mumbai at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in Mumbai, very much in Mumbai.
Okay.
Yes, I am in Mumbai right now.
Great, great, great. Okay, so you were born in Jaipur, Rajasthan, is that right?
That's right.
Okay, and you actually studied geology and chemistry originally.
You know it all. Yeah, you know it all. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's true.
and then you suddenly decided to become an actor. How did that happen?
I was always very keen in acting, and I was very fascinated towards movies, but my school never supported any such activity. So it was always there with me, but it was a very interesting incident which happened in my life, that I was going to my college, and somebody asked me for a lift, and I felt like helping the guy, and I said, of course I can do whatever you want. And I asked him, what do you do? And then he said that I work in theater. So I got that clue, I got that window into theater, and I love to come to your theater, can I? And then he took me there, and that was my first appearance, or that was my first exposure to the world of acting and theater. So I requested them that if I can play any part, or can be part of the team. So they took me as a background helper in the play, but that started, and then from there I got to play small roles in theaters, and then it started with some part-time work at the local TV channel in Jaipur, where I was born and brought up and was studying, and gradually then I started doing small roles in TV. So it's been actually a long journey, and started really from scratch, like from doing a backstage work in a theater to do small roles in TV, and then eventually anchoring shows at the local level there, and then ending up in coming to Mumbai and doing the films.
Well, you've progressed, you've worked your way up the ladder, so to speak. So let me just
from scratch, you can say that.
But what I wanted to talk to you about is as an actor, you played the arch enemy of Siddhartha or Buddha. From the beginning of time, you tried to destroy him in every single way possible, and you tried to get rid of him, and you expressed such a huge amount of malevolence and cruelty, and so much twisted anger and rage that came out of you. Now, how did you do that for 53 episodes? Where did you get that from? How did you manage to tap into such cruelty? Because I've had people, they want me to ask you that, because it was you're such an amazing actor, and you really put it across, and we believed you. You know, there was no acting there. You were there. You were there. You became Devdutt, and that's what a good actor does. How did you do it, Janga?
I'm a trained method actor, and when in method acting, we actually try to become the character. We try to get the in your body, in your mind, and it's not just about reading the lines and delivering them, but it's becoming the character. That's what is the best definition of acting, is just be the character. So very interesting incidents happened with me when I was in the process of approaching the character and was preparing for it. Like in first 2-3 days, I started getting nightmares that I am actually Devdutt, and I used to get up in the middle of the night. And it was not a very pleasant thing to experience that time. But I never resisted it. I let it come in my body because it was one of the best things I was doing so far in my 16, 17 years of struggle as an actor. It was one of the best roles. So I let it happen with me. And I've read a lot about Devdutt, and he used to think that he was very, very unlucky because whatever he liked and desired, it was always taken away from him.
Everything went wrong.
That was the biggest.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry?
So everything went wrong for him.
Is there any
It's
problem
like you
that-
knew. Sorry, you knew everything was going to go wrong with Devdutt. Everything went wrong with him.
Yeah.
So you started
So I
to feel
started
sorry for
feeling.
him.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
And see, everywhere I used to feel, I started feeling very unlucky. Like if I go for important work, my car will get punctured, I will get red signals, I'll get stuck in traffic jams. So I started feeling that actually, or maybe it was just the psychology, or it was the way of seeing life. But I was seeing life as if life is not happy with me. It's taking away my opportunities. It's taking away the happiness. It's giving frustration. So maybe it's just a way of looking at things. And I started becoming Devdutt. Yes, it was very difficult on a personal point because I never used to. I forgot what is peace. I forgot what is happiness. I used to get up in the middle of the night. I was so restless that time. But it helped me, the moment I used to go on the set, it helped me transform into Devdutt because I was already living a life of the character. I was already living like Devdutt. And I started enjoying the process because that whole year I gave to this particular series. I didn't do anything else. I didn't take any other acting jobs. And it really helped me because, I used to transform into somebody else the moment I used to wear clothes. My directors used to tell others that don't go close to Jagat, don't go close to, because he's become Devdutt and he can be dangerous also. So I used to stay alone in the room and on my sets also. I never used to interact with anybody, and I actually became the character. There were scenes when Devdutt was drunk, so I used to drink on the sets. I used to drink wine. I never drink in my day-to-day life. I don't drink, I don't smoke. But for Devdutt, I started drinking, and I performed a few of the scenes, actually drinking like a couple of bottles. So, and in the scenes where I was doing a lot of action, I was actually hitting myself with the hunter.
That's something I was going to say.
It's one of the most
there.
amazing experiences I've ever been.
Okay, oh my God, I was going to ask you that because Devdutt used to punish himself. He used to literally whip himself every time something went wrong.
Yeah.
And so you felt like you were punishing yourself as well.
I did that. Actually, I did that.
God.
I actually did that, yeah. I got hurt many times while playing that. And I did that, yeah. I actually did that.
You see, as actors, I perform as Edith Piaf. When I go onto the stage, now Edith Piaf, the French singer, she was a drug addict. She was into everything. She was into heroin, drugs, everything. I never touched anything. But when I go on the stage, I always felt like I become the character. But then I do 1 hour,
Yeah, exactly.
I do my singing, and then I walk away. You did, how was it filmed? Was it filmed every day for the 53 episodes? How did they film it?
It was on an average 15 to 20 days a month. Yeah, but these intense scenes were very exhausting. Time I was completely dead, and I was good for nothing for next 2-3 days. It happened with me when I was doing these hardcore intense scene. Yeah, but yeah, 15 to 20 days a month.
You see, I had.
I'm very passionate. I'm actually I'm just mad and passionate about this whole thing called cinema and acting, and I just love to give my everything into it, just everything. I don't want to hold back even one iota of myself. So that's me. I'm here for that. I left my family 17, 18 years back. I came to Mumbai. I've been through a lot in life just for this, and this is the in the future. I'm going to everything to it. Life. That's my purpose.
Well, you did an incredible job. You know, you convinced all of us. And, you know, I can see now from what you're saying, I can see now how much you put into it. So it worked.
Yeah.
It basically, it worked.
Yeah.
But so you would come home, but did you manage at all to switch off from the character in any way? Were you able at any point to switch off? How long did it take you to get him out of your system?
Shoot was at least 3 to 4 months. It was difficult to come out. Yeah, it took a long time. Maybe I'm not that to have that control on that switch on and off button, being an actor. But I never forced myself to be normal. Because I was emotionally attached to Devdutt and I believed in him. According to me, Devdutt was not a negative guy. I believed in him. He was doing. He was thinking that he's right, and he has this faith and belief that a lot of injustice has happened with him, and so did I believe. So I just let it go the way it wanted to, and it took 3 to 4 months. I never forced myself, or like took a break, or went on a holiday. Nothing. I just didn't like doing anything. I was so attached to the character, so I let it happen naturally. Yeah, it took 3 to 4 months.
What was your point of view of being Devdutt? Because did you actually feel like that? For example, let's look at Yashodhara. There was tenderness in there. There was softness in there when he gives her the scarf. There was romance in there. What I'm trying to say is, a lot of the time we felt with Devdutt that he was planning all the time. Like when he went to see Ajustra, I can't pronounce his name. The king, Ajustra, the king, Bimbisara's son.
Ajatashatru.
Ajatashatru.
Yeah.
He went to see him.
Ajatashatru, yeah.
Everything was planned with him. It's like, I'm going to do this, and this is how it's going to be, like a war. But when it came to your relationship with Yashodhara, you had this tenderness. There was love in there. Is that true, or was that all part of his scheming and his planning?
Devdutt has full loyalty towards the country and for the love he had in his heart. Actually, very much in love with Yashodhara, and there was the frustration in his life was because of this, that he could not become the king because he was so much in love with the country. He was a true warrior, and he wanted to serve the country. He wanted to serve the country in his own. And he wanted to get married to Yashodhara. And these were the two factors which he could not get in his life, and that was the cause of the frustration. So when it comes to Yashodhara, Devdutt have done anything for her. Right. Actually, he has pushed his mother and went against his father, and the father that nobody can stop me from getting Yashodhara. So he believed in that. There was no plan which has any kind of cunningness into it. It was right from his heart. He believed in that Yashodhara, he is the right one for the Yashodhara. So there was a lot of heart into it.
It came across that in the beginning where he gives her all these flowers, and then Buddha, when they were little, I mean, okay, you weren't the actor, but the character, he gives her lots of flowers. And Buddha gives her, and Siddhartha gives her a seed, and she grows all these flowers. And you start to feel, but he was doing it from the time he knew her. He was trying to do this from the heart, but somehow you look a bit at Siddharth and you think, oh, he's a bit of a goody two shoes, you know, he's too good to be true, because everything goes right for him, and you know that seed grew into a wonderful garden of flowers. Do you see what I mean? And you look at Devdutt, and you know he grows on you. You just start to have a lot of feelings of compassion towards him, and he's so, in a lot of ways, you feel like he's misunderstood. And quite honest, Yashodhara should have married him. I mean, like, look what happened. The poor woman was left, you know, on her own with a baby. And people weren't very happy at Siddharth when he did that. Not until he became Buddha and we understood, you know, the whole message behind it. But she should have married you. She should have married Devdutt, because quite honestly, he would have been there. Let's put it that way. So I'm just going to take a short break now, because we need to have an advert from our sponsor. And when we come back, we're going to watch a little bit of the death scene of where Devdutt dies, you know, at the end, which was, it was just, we're all in tears. We're all in tears. It was very, very powerful. And you should win an Oscar for that, if there is such a thing as Oscars for in India. You should win an Oscar for that.
That's over for me. I mean, I can't think of that, but if you're saying so, I'll start thinking like maybe someday it can happen also.
I'm going to ask
wishes,
you, sorry, Jagat. I'm going to ask you some questions after we've watched the scene, a little bit of the scene. So we're going to come back after the break, and then I'm going to ask Jagat to talk about his real feelings of what was really going on inside him as he was doing that death scene. So,
welcome to Moving On TV, the new TV channel for us, the positive, inspirational TV channel. Come on board Moving On TV, the new positive channel, the channel that gives you hope.
Hello, my name is Martin Oswald of Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy. I specialise in smoking cessation, weight loss, phobia release, stress management and hypnobirthing. I can do a free assessment via the phone, via Skype or face-to-face at any time. So that's Martin Oswald of Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy. Looking forward to your call now. You can also find me on my Facebook page, which is Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy.
अपनी हथेली पर गर्म कोयले को रखने के समान जो हम किसी दूसरे पर फेंकना चाहते हैं, पर इस क्रिया में हम स्वयं को ही हानि पहुंचाते हैं। आपसे जवाब मांगने योग्य नहीं हूं मैं। शांति से जाओगे बहुत आपको बहुत क्षति पहुंचाई है मैंने बहुत। मुझे तो कुछ भी स्मरण नहीं। बुद्ध धर्म और संत हर मनुष्य के अंतर में स्वयं को जगाने की क्षमता बुद्ध। जागने के बाद हम जिस पथ पर चलते हैं वो पथ धर्म है। स्वयं के मन को एकाग्रित करना, उसे केंद्रित करना, और उसे एकत्रित करना संग और ये तीनों वक्त में तुम्हारे अंतर में
We just saw the demise, the death scene of our lovely Dev dying on his deathbed. Now, I thought he was going to recover. I really did think he would come through because somehow he came through everything. And I thought, oh, he's not going to die. They're not going to let him die. But as you see, he lay on his deathbed and he said, Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Is that right? Do you want to say it? The last three lines.
I'll say that, but before that,
what does
yeah,
he say?
I'll definitely do that. Very, very interesting incident to share on the same sequence that we had a stunt man, like a stunt who was performing that scene where actually David rolls down from the cliff and he falls down. But I was standing there and I was not happy with the intensity and the force which was coming into that. So I wanted to do that on my own. So I requested the director that I want to do this scene on my own.
Oh my God.
Risky.
Sure.
So I actually pushed that guy, okay, you stay aside and I'm going to do it on my own. That, and it really, like, everybody appreciated that. So if I see that cliff now, I can't believe that I have actually rolled down the cliff and without any protection as such, and I did that. But that was the flow, that was the intent, that was the which David used to rule me, actually, my body and my senses, and I allowed him to do that. So, and yeah, and then we scene, and you want me to say Buddham Sharanam Gacchami.
I want you to say it.
That Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. I'm like kind of singing right now, but I can't become that. I can't become that because it was a completely different state of mind. Yeah.
Of course, but
I can't relate myself that I did that.
Let me just explain to whoever doesn't know about Buddhism, because you know I'm going to a 5-day silent retreat in Amaravati. I live very near a Buddhist retreat, and we always do a bit of the chanting.
Oh,
so just so you know, means I come to the Buddha, and then I come to the Dhamma, which is the way, the path, and then I come to the Sangha, which is the community. And it's really the last things that you say. But what I want to ask you, honestly, from the heart, was Devdutt really surrendering at that point? Or did he think, oh, I'm going to get you in another life, Buddha? What do you say? What would you say? Did he surrender?
No, that was... Of course he did surrender. He did surrender. And I again want to tell you this thing, that David, he always did what he believed in. And that time he was actually, he actually believed that when he should surrender, and this is the time, that was the time he realized that this is the same guy who always has been, I thought Buddha was my enemy, but taking care of me when I was completely down on the ground, injured and almost on the deathbed. And that time what Buddha told me that, don't worry, just go. And I asked him that I'm really sorry for whatever I've done to you. And he said, I don't remember anything. So that was the time David was completely shaken off. That malice in his heart. There's no complaints. He's just fine with whatever is happening in that.
Because,
so it was the realization time.
Because you do see the flashbacks, don't you? You see the flashbacks of where Buddha was so kind to him.
Yeah. That was David's state of mind.
Yeah. It's so touching.
It was like, as I said, I hoped he wasn't going to die. I really didn't want him to die. But, you know, he was so suffering so much. And now physically, you know, it's really good to hear you say that. So with every last breath, he was able to say, okay, that's it. I surrender. I now believe that all you wanted for me was...
Actually, crying so much that time.
Yeah. You were crying.
Yeah.
Your performance was
I was actually crying. Yeah.
was Oscar, as I say. You should win an Oscar. Do they have?
I was crying.
Have you won? Have you won any awards for your
I just say
awards for your performance?
there are not many awards here for. No, not yet, not yet.
Okay.
In that category, we don't have such many of awards. But yeah, who doesn't want to win? I would love to.
Well, you've won an award with me, that's for sure. You know, Moving on TV, we think you're incredible. And well, more about. I have to ask you some more questions about Devdutt, and what about the relationships with your co-actor? Because you obviously Himanshi Sinha, you get on with him. So obviously, you know, actors always get on, luckily. So, but what happened when you started to feel so much like Devdutt? Did that come between you and him? Did you start to feel uncomfortable around him? Did it affect your friendship? It affected your friendship.
Actually, you caught it at the right note. Of course, it did in between, because I was so much into the character that I started hating him. And we never used to talk much during the shoot. And we accepted it because we knew, being both of us are actors, and we knew why is it happening. So in that particular time, yeah, of course, there was a disconnect. There was like, we don't feel like talking. We don't want to stay. On the contrary, we started shooting this show. We both were given the same room, because the same makeup room was given to both of us. And but gradually, as the shoot progressed, as the months passed and all, I started developing that sense of jealousy for him on personal basis also. And it was all because of the impact of the character I was playing. And and one day, actually, it happened that I just went and I fell on his feet, and I thought, you are the one who's going to give moksha and nirvana to me. It just happened. I don't know why it happened. I was just thinking about Devdutt, and I was maybe thinking about the end of Devdutt, and it just something entered my body or my mind or my soul, and I just went and I fell on his feet, and he was surprised that why am I doing so. And the director said that it happens when the actors are too much into method acting, so they tend to behave like the character. So my frame of mind was, so I actually did that. So.
Oh, it's quite frightening, actually, what happened to you. And you know, luckily you were able to pull yourself back, because I mean, Devdutt really did. He was very evil. You know, he did kill a lot of people. He beheaded people. You know, and as you say, luckily you were able to pull yourself back. Do you meditate?
Yeah.
Are you a Buddhist yourself? Do you study Buddhism?
I've started. Yeah, that's something which I would like to talk on. That since I've done this series Buddha, I tend to understand what Buddha's teachings were, because I was in the black space. I was experiencing the black color, experiencing the negative part. So I have developed the value for white, developed the value for goodness, developed the values for what Buddha has taught. Into that dark space. So I know the value of light now. So that has pulled a lot of my side into his teachings, and I've started meditating, and I hear his dialogues, and especially the things which used to come at the end of every show, a particular saying, particular preaching, or particular line about what that episode actually concludes into. And I have all the recordings with me, and I listen to them very often, and I can connect.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful.
Being Devdutt, I know the value of Buddha.
Did you have any, apart from that, did you feel you needed to go for therapy or anything like that to exercise the character as well? No. Luckily you didn't need to do that.
No.
Okay, good. And what did your parents think about you playing Devdutt? Your family, how did they feel about it when they saw your character and the character you're playing and your acting? How did your family feel about it?
See, I've been away from family for now like 17, 15 17 years, and I don't generally share much of my professional experiences with them. But yeah, of course, like any other parent, they were very, very happy and delighted to see me on national TV.
Yeah.
A role, and where people are also congratulating them that because everybody has good things to say about the performance and the character and the series.
You know, you remind.
But
sorry. Your story.
No,
your story reminds me of a film. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was based on an actor. I think Laurence Olivier played the character. An actor was playing the part of Othello. You know, where he strangles Desdemona in Shakespeare. This is from Shakespeare. I think Laurence Olivier played the part, and the actor was getting so obsessed with being Othello that at some point he actually tries to strangle his wife, because he thinks that she is Desdemona. He thinks that she is betraying him. So there's a film. It's a film. Don't worry, it's a film. But you see, so people have thought about this and how the character can take someone's life. You could write a book about it. It's an incredible experience. I mean, have you thought about putting it down on paper and writing about my experiences as Devdutt or something like that?
Yeah, it's a good idea actually. Let me try a hand on that. Oh, yeah. Or maybe let me have some more experience about acting, and then I'll have some more things to write on it. Let me do some characters. I hope I get to play, and then something more should be added to the book, and not just Devdutt.
Well,
it's a good idea.
I think what you portrayed, the character that you portrayed in Buddha, I don't think you could really go any further. Is there anybody? Who could you play? Who do you want to play? Is there anyone that could take you to such levels? Is there any character that you feel personally you'd like to play to take you even further as a method actor? Because I think it's incredible. I wouldn't be brave enough to play something like, we don't say it, but you know Lady M from Shakespeare? We don't say the name because it's supposed to be bad luck. But she was very, very cruel and manipulated her husband, as you know, to go out and kill everyone. And I've healed a mental illness. And I personally don't feel that I could do that. I feel that it would really screw at my head and make me sick. But anyway, coming back to you, that's why I think you're incredibly brave and incredibly courageous to do what you did, the way you've done it. And you kind of surrendered. You surrendered your whole mind, body, and spirit to everything, to the part. And we're grateful because we got this incredible performance that inspired us. But who would you like to play? I know you moved on now to doing another character in Lipstick Under Your Burqa, which we'll talk about in a minute. But before we do, I don't think it's anything like that. From what I've seen a little bit, some of the footage, the character you're playing, he seems quite tame compared to, Who would you, as an actor, aspire to play that could give you the level of emotions, maybe the other extreme of joy? I don't know. Have you got anyone in mind that you'd aspire to play?
I would like to play Alexander.
Right. Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Warrior. I would like to play, Alexander the Great. I would like to play that, because he was again an extremist.
Right.
So I'm sure, I don't know much about him, but I know that he tried to conquer the world, and you can imagine the thought process of a person who's trying to win the world, and he quite did it also. And at 33 he was just gone. So he lived a life, and he has left his name for the rest of the world to think that, oh, Alexander was like such. And we say that Alexander the Great. I just said Alexander and you added the word great. I would like to play Alexander.
And of course you will get the throne. Because you'll get the throne. You'll get the throne.
This is the
everything. You did everything to try and get that.
This is the throne where I get love and it comes back to you.
And I mean, just coming back to Devdutt again, he originally, you say your older brother, you know when they have the incident with the bird, you say to Siddharth, are you going to do something to upset your older brother? But you weren't his brother, you were his cousin. Is that right? Not his older brother, you were his cousin?
Yeah.
Right. Because,
Cousin. First cousin. Yeah.
but again, when you look into the research, they say that Devdutt was his stepbrother. So it's not, he wasn't, not exactly sure whether he was his stepbrother or his cousin. There's a bit of whether there was
No, it
something.
was cousin. It was his.
It definitely was
yeah,
his cousin.
his
Right. His older
yeah,
cousin.
cousin.
And obviously, you see in the beginning,
Yeah.
he was everything to the king before Siddharth was born. Devdutt.
Before Siddharth was born, yeah, he was
Exactly. Yeah.
captured by the king, and then once Siddharth was born, yeah, the focus went to Siddharth, and that was one of the reasons he felt neglected.
Yeah, of course.
And the frustration building up to that.
Of course.
First thing which went away from Devdutt after Siddharth was born was the love and affection and all the tension which he used to get from the king
Went to Siddharth.
family, which all went to Siddharth once he was born. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I started thinking from that point of view, but that's why I justify this. As a child, he has faced a lot when he was 4, and like he was made believe that he's the one who's going to be sitting on the throne when Siddharth was not born. And the moment Siddharth came, and he was completely neglected. So as a child, he has to go through a lot. So that was the route where it's all in Devdutt. And then it went on and on and on. First, the bird was given to Siddharth, and then it was Yashodhara, and then it grown and was everything.
Everything bit by bit. And it got to the point where we knew inside, it became like a pantomime, because you knew that Devdutt was, that Siddharth and Buddha was always going to win. The good and the compassion was going to win. And it started to become, do you know what a pantomime is?
Yeah.
Where you have the boo, the villain. Mangala, your mother in it, Devdutt's mother, Mangala. She was so cruel as well, to see that everything that happened to Devdutt, everything that started to happen was going to go wrong. Everything. It was like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
You knew wrong. You just knew it. But then as it happened, you know, when you look at it from outside, you can see that how much he struggled. I mean, have you watched it? Have you watched it in the last, since you let go of the character? Have you stood back and watched the series and see what do you think when you watch it? Without being in it, when you stand back, what do you think about it?
See, being an actor now, I being an actor, you always try to, or maybe I can say being an artist, whenever you look back to your work, what you have done, first thing which comes in your mind is that I could have done it better. So it's very difficult to get that part out of your mind, and you always focus on what you have done and the technicalities and the way you performed. So I try to see it and try to understand, but the first thing which strikes me is, oh, I could have done this scene better. Oh, I could have done this also in that. Oh, I could have done that also in that.
Okay,
so,
what happens after that goes?
That's what comes across my mind.
Because we want everything perfect as actors and performers. It's always like that. But when that goes, what else? What's your observations about your performance after that, or the character? Can you see anything from the point of view of an audience of the actual what's happening, the way everything's unfolding?
Story, I always was very much involved from the day one only. So there's nothing much I explore now, because I've lived it with such closeness and with such depth. So as story wise and as the content wise, I was always very much aware and always into it. So there's nothing much to explore. Yeah, you try to do those things in your life, what you learn from Buddha, and that gives you new experiences. But just looking at the series and all, I was already there into it. So nothing much, and all the attention goes to the performance and the technicalities of the show. Or this shot could have been, because now I'm trying to direct also a movie. So I look at the direction point of view, that the way the series was shot and the emotions of the dial. on the actors, the delivery, the camera angles, and all. So mine goes in those things rather than getting the emotional, and that's already been extracted out of it.
Some of the scenes were extraordinary. I mean, the scene when Buddha is sitting there meditating, Amara with the arrows and the colors, and it's just absolutely amazing. They did so much amazing, beautiful scenes. Anyway, let's leave let's leave Devdu for a while. I want to come back and do another interview with you. Once I come back from my retreat, I'd love to do another interview with you, and maybe do a couple of interviews, because this is just fascinating.
Please share those experiences.
And it's fascinating. I'm so excited. First of all, so you're just finished working on a film called Lipstick Under the Burqa. Is that right? I mean, I looked at a few scenes of it. It looks very, very brave film, a very brave, courageous film to be in, especially in the way we live our lives at the moment. So basically, it's about are they Muslim women that literally they let go of their Muslim life, and they go out and party and have fun, and that's the representation of the lipstick. Is that right?
It's not just about Muslim girls. It's about a female individuality, especially in our country, or where females are suppressed. They're not given freedom. They cannot choose what they want to. They are not allowed to choose. So the burqa is basically a metaphor. It doesn't literally mean the burqa, but it's a metaphor which is used, that all the desires, all the wishes are actually hidden under this burqa, which is the male-dominated society.
Right.
Which is the male power, which tried to overpower the women.
It's very
so it doesn't actually, it's not about Muslims, it's about women.
About women in particular. And so who do you play in it? What's your character?
I played a swimming coach in the film. A swimming coach, a young swimming coach, and who teaches girls and how to swim, and that's where the actress who's opposite to me, Ratna Pathak Shah, she's a legend herself, and she falls in love with this guy, and she has her own fantasies, and that's how the story builds up between both of us.
And
have you seen the movie, or have you seen any rushes or something?
I saw a little bit on YouTube. I watched a little bit. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. We'll probably get it on Netflix. We get everything on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I'm definitely going to watch it. So you play a nice
It's getting released in US also now in September.
Well, we need it.
Yeah.
We need it. It's what we need. And good luck with that. I think it's incredible that to be
Thank you so much
making films like that. It's so important, isn't it? It's all about freedom of speech and freedom, So you play a nice guy in this?
To do what you want,
Yeah. But your character is...
Yeah, I mean, the character is a very normal character.
He's just a normal guy.
It's not based on sexuality. I'm saying it's a very ordinary person. Any ordinary have affairs or would like to flirt and will do a part-time job. So you can't actually categorize it in a good or a bad character. We all are gray actually in our own lives. So he's a very ordinary guy who has his own gray shade to it, and he just get into that interaction with this lady who is 48, 50, but he never knew that he's talking to the lady. He has his own fantasies, and he was thinking that he's talking to someone else, which he used to find very attractive at the pool. So this whole thing builds into a mystery, and which unfolds into the reality, which actually hits him very badly, and then he has this little gray element that he goes and he complains, and you have to see the film. Actually, I can't talk much about the film. If you have not seen, you must see the film.
So Buddha, I mean, you finished it in, was it 2013, 2014 when you finished film Buddha? 2014 or 2013?
14.
Right. Okay.
14.
So you took a long
end of 14.
Okay, you took quite a lot of breaks. You took a long break first, and then you went back. Did you to
Yeah.
performing this
Yeah.
character? Okay, so I have a question for someone here wants to know. Do you feel that Bollywood it represents?
Are we live right now? Are we live
No.
right now?
No, I've just got questions here that people have given me. No, we're not live. That's why we're going to be editing
Okay,
it.
okay.
Thank God.
Okay.
No, we're not
Okay.
live. We're not
Okay.
streaming.
Okay.
Do you feel that Bollywood represents reality more than Hollywood? Somebody asked me if you could you explain that? Do you feel that Bollywood gives people more of a representation of the reality of life more than Hollywood?
See, the scenario in Bollywood is now changing, and we are making more movies which are close to reality. We are working on biopics. We are working on films which earlier it used to be a lot of fantasies in the film. Yeah. But now it's changing. About Hollywood, I can't say much because I'm not really too much into Hollywood movies. I stick to my Bollywood and I enjoy Bollywood movies, and that's where I get all the inspiration to make Bollywood movies. But yeah, the scenario is changing now, and we are making realistic films. We are taking up issues which have been very, which has made their presence felt in society, which has something to convey through medium of cinema. Biopics are being made, and stories on sportsmen, and they're being liked by so many people here. So they are doing very well. So I can't say much about Hollywood.
Okay. And another question I have before we finish, and as I say, I'm going to do another interview with you about Devdas. I'm sure I am. Sure, I'm going to get new questions and stuff. Is if another actor came to see you and said that they were going to have to play something like the character of Devdas, what would be your advice to them? How would you help them to maybe have an easier time and to maybe not go through as much as you did? A little bit less suffering in real life.
I know. I don't actually, I'm not much bothered about it. For me, the passion level is that much that it should be conveyed on screen anyhow. And I have taken the route of going through meditation, thinking and believing, and just closing my eyes and try to see and visualize the thing and that era, and started believing that if I am Devdutt, what will happen to me? How will I start thinking? What will be my life like? What will I do when I'll get up in the morning? What will I do when I'll be sleeping? What will be my thought process? What are the things which I like? What are the things which troubles me most? What is more important for me? So the whole thought process changes once you get this character. And you cannot portray the character like in 1 or 2 days. It needs time to get your system. It needs time to build that faith into the character. You have to have that faith and belief in the character. And it takes time. It can take up to months. It can get there. You can get there in days also. It depends upon the character and how close you are to that. If I have to play an ordinary guy who is working for a young guy of 2017, it won't be much difficult, I'm sure. But going into the history past that era, which such qualities were that had, I think you need a lot of preparation.
Do you have any plans to come to England? Because I would love to interview you directly with a proper, without all the Zoom, because it's much better, obviously, face to face. Any plans to come to England?
Country, I really want to come and there because I know I have heard great things about London, about UK, about England, the legacy, the aristocracy. You guys have ruled the world, and I want to see the country which has ruled the world. So yeah, I would love to. Right now, I'm working on a film. Let me get done with it, and I'll definitely come for a week or so.
Wonderful. I'll take you to Amravati, and then you can see this beautiful, huge Buddhist retreat. And if you
please do connect when you are here.
Like nice big salads, Mediterranean salads, and the food is wonderful. You love it. So it's been a pleasure, Jagat. It's been an
Of
incredible
course.
pleasure to interview you. And as I say, when I come back from the retreat, I'll get in touch with you. And when you come to England, we'll interview you directly, and it'll be so great, you know, to be able to get you properly on the camera and everything. But in the meantime, it's been wonderful. I suppose that it must be very, very hot in Mumbai at the moment. Very hot, the weather.
Very pleasant. It's very pleasant here. It's been raining. No, it's monsoon here. It's quite pleasant here. It's been raining, and on this interview and in this interaction, I want to thank you for letting me come and interact with you. And it's an honor, and all the kind words and wishes you have given to me. I really
You're welcome. You're welcome, and
would love to interact with you in the future.
I hope you know that we really do respect and have so much. I can't think of the word, but respect for your performance and you as an actor and everything you portrayed. As I said, I thought it was really important to be able to talk to you to help you let go of that a little bit more. And I knew I was going to interview you. I just knew. I thought I'm definitely going to get in touch with you and interview you. So thank you for getting back to us so quick.
All my honor.
And for being so committed and responsible. And I'll let you know when we release this. So take care. Thank you, everyone.
And that was Jagat Singh from Mumbai with awesome people around the globe on Moving On TV. And if you want to come on here with your unique story, I can't wait. You can get to the studio and we will film you. Or if you're on Zoom somewhere in the world, anywhere in the world, we can now film you. So have a beautiful day and namaste for Moving On TV. And you can always get in touch with me, with Lauren with an E, at movingontv.uk. Take care now. Bye.